This week's dev update for Microsoft Flight Simulator comes with a brand new roadmap. It contains a bunch of interesting information, so let's jump in and take a look. The first thing of note worth pointing out is the release date for World Update 10. This is set for the 14th of June, so a little over 2 weeks at this particular point. Now, right now, we don't know what World Update 10 is going to contain. Microsoft are being very secretive about this. The reason, there's a Microsoft and Bethesda showcase on the 12th of June. They're likely going to be announcing all the plans for Microsoft Flight Simulator here, along with all their other games. So, unfortunately, we're going to have to wait until right then to get all the details on what the next World Update is going to contain. Now, as usual with the Microsoft Flight Simulator roadmaps, they extend a few months into the year. This one ends on September. The second thing worthy of note then is Sim Update 10 has been delayed. Originally, it was expected to arrive in July. That is now happening instead in August, specifically the 23rd of August. So this follows on from what head of Microsoft Flight Simulator Jörg Newman announced in a recent Q&A, that they're going to be slowing down a little bit on the entire development process. Currently, the release cadence for updates for the sim alternates between world updates and sim updates. So essentially, sim updates arrive every second month. Microsoft have now said this is a little bit too fast, and it's one of the reasons why they're having so many problems with these particular updates. Bugs, crashes, and basically performance issues, things that there's just not enough time to test. So it seems that sim updates might be moving to every 3 months, at least based on what we're seeing here on the roadmap. Now this, of course, also pushes back the next World Update somewhat. World Update 11 then will be arriving in late September, and as you can see here, that's moved back slightly from the original date of August. At any rate, the screenshot you see right here is the most recent one. This comes from the May Q&A, and as you can see, there's still a few things left for the rest of this year. What catches my attention the most is the bit at the bottom, major releases. So there's a surprise release in June, this month then. Now I suspect this will also be announced at the Microsoft and Bethesda showcase, although nothing about that has been confirmed. So, Microsoft Flight Simulator might not even be there at that event, but seems very, very likely at this point. Absolutely no idea what to expect about this. If you have any ideas, do let me know in the comments section below. I'd love to hear from you, whether it's speculation or whether you have any suspicions or perhaps any, well, you never know, inside information. Do put that below in the comments section. Whatever it turns out to be though, it is going to be an additional release to the World Update. So yeah, 2 big releases in June by the looks of it. Later in the year, of course, there is Gliders coming in fall or autumn. Another surprise release as well at that point in the year, as well as the long-awaited and highly anticipated helicopters. All of that though is further into the future, much later in the year. Let's return our attention for the moment back to slightly more immediate things with Sim Update 10, although yes, that's August, still a little way off, but there is a little bit of information about that and what we can expect to see happening there. The current feedback snapshot then shows a Sim Update 10 Plus, so maybe in Sim Update 10, maybe beyond that, implementation of weather and terrain APIs. This should allow third-party apps to lock in and use the data provided by those particular parts of the game. Chinese localization is also coming, DirectX 12 on PC. Now this is something that arrived quite a while ago, and as many of you will know, the performance for DirectX 12 on Microsoft Flight Simulator is, well, not very good to say the least, very, very problematic. Sim Update 10 then is going to bring some stability, memory allocation, and overall optimization improvements. These are all ongoing. It looks like they're starting with Sim Update 10 and going to continue on into the future. Sim Update 10 will also have cloud layer improvements. This is where Microsoft say we are fine-tuning the cloud layer system to be more precise and incremental. The layer will be much thinner at sea level and thicker as we go higher altitudes. The updated system will help better depict a realistic cloud coverage at low altitude. Now clouds are a very weird thing. It seems to me at least that very early on, in the early days when Microsoft Flight Simulator was first released, as well as the early footage we saw before release, clouds looked exceptional, very, very good indeed. Over the time, they've somewhat degraded in visual appearance, maybe due to Microsoft and Asobo working on performance optimization fixes and all the rest of it. So yeah, it seems that they're trying to get back to what they once were. At least that's how it seems to me. but maybe I'm noticing something that's not quite true, and my memory's a little bit hazy on that particular thing. But another thing, let me know that in the comment section below. Do you feel that clouds have changed over time? And if so, have they changed for the better or for the worse? Push trips. Microsoft say they are aware of related issues to push trips, and these are going to be fixed, especially surrounding resume and restarts. Yes, I've noticed that one myself. They say that is going to be fixed and improved with Sim Update 10. So yeah, let's hope so. They've been saying that for quite a few Sim updates now, and it's not quite happened yet. Now, NVIDIA DLSS, this is going to be in Sim Update 10 as well, at least according to this feedback snapshot, but this one may not be quite up to date, and on the recent Asobo Q&A, they did suggest or hint that DLSS may not quite make it into Sim Update 10, so fingers crossed. Let's hope it gets in there, because I think this one is going to be a big performance increase, an improvement for many people out there, and would be a nice addition for virtual reality users as well. Finally, on the feedback snapshot here, we've got another entry for Sim Update 10, and this is WASM support on Xbox. Now, in case you're wondering what WASM is, this is WebAssembly modules, a certain programming language used to create third-party add-ons. Now, many of these are currently incompatible with Xbox or cause problems, so that means a lot of content is missing for Xbox, a lot of third-party content is missing on Xbox that should otherwise be there. Microsoft and Asobo say they are working on a solution to bring add-ons, WASM add-ons, to the Xbox platforms, and hopefully this should be arriving with Sim Update 10, at least according to the feedback snapshot here. So yeah, if Microsoft and Asobo can get that sorted out, then plenty of those great third-party add-ons will finally make it to the Xbox platform. Moving down the list a little bit, Microsoft have a list of bugs over the last 3 months. Naturally, the top voted issue, the one at position number 1 with 192 votes, is problems with performance, massive FPS drop because of Sim Update 9. This is under investigation, so no information yet on what's going on here or when it's going to be fixed, but it does seem to be on their radar. They do have some focus on it. Also, position 4, this is worth looking at, stutters on ground while taxiing and taking off, same as Sim Update 8. So this goes back further than Sim Update 9. This has been around for quite a while. Again, this one is under investigation. And another one under investigation, again related to performance, PC Sim Update 8, stutter with add-ons. Performance updates then continue to be a bit of a problem for Microsoft Flight Simulator right from the start. Every time Asobo make one fix, they seem to create another problem. A bit of an unfortunate side effect, especially this far since release. I think we're coming on for 2 years now since the Sim finally made it out, and although there has been some significant performance improvements, there's still quite a lot of problems out there. I'd actually be quite interested to hear how many of you have a flawless experience with no performance issues whatsoever, and how many of you still have some issues in terms of performance. Now, moving down to the next part of the feedback snapshot, we've got bugs, lifetime. So these are the bugs that have been here for quite a long time now, beyond the past 3 months. Number 1, with 1,143 votes, is live weather does not match. This says Asobo have started fixing this, and the fix is going to be made over several releases. Now, you may have noticed on the Asobo Q&As that this particular issue has been mentioned pretty much every Q&A. It's one of those things they attempt to put a bit of a fix in every single Sim update, but never quite fully seem to get there with it. Position number 2 is the Garmin G1000 and G3000 autopilot related issues. Fixes on this have been started. There's plenty of other issues, as you can see on the screen. I really want to focus on the ones that stand out to me though, so the next one for that would be at position number 9, lack of real-time traffic. Again, I've heard many people talk about this, especially on the forums, over the past few months. So here it says less than 90% of what's actually happening. Again, fixes for this have been in progress or are in progress. Okay then, moving away from bugs and onto the wish list. At number 1, the AN-225. This is the Antonov, the largest plane in the world. The plane that was unfortunately relatively recently destroyed in Ukraine. This, people feel, should be a local legend, and Microsoft say this is actually planned. Unfortunately, no release date for that just yet. Elsewhere in the wish list is the multiple screen functionality. Again, this has been mentioned in recent videos, and I know it was asked about in the recent Q&A. It's something that may appear in Sim Update 10. I say may because, again, there was a little bit of doubt about this in the recent Q&A. I bring it up again though because it has been mentioned and it looks like it's getting quite close now. I know a lot of people have been waiting for this for a very, very long time now, and totally understandably. Elsewhere in the world of Microsoft Flight Simulator, away from Sober and Microsoft themselves and looking at third-party content, we've got some information here, some new screenshots actually, on the Aerosoft A330. Here we can see some very nice looking external shots as well as some great looking internal shots. Looks like Aerosoft have been putting a lot of work into this, and it seems as though things are coming along very, very nicely here. If you want to take a closer look at these screenshots, I'll link them in the video description. At any rate, that brings us to the end of this video. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys and girls next time.